Hi students! So today we're going to deal with MS Excel. What do we use MS Excel for, you may ask? And what we use it for is to draw up budgets, sometimes income statements or balance sheets. So how do we go about doing this is that you'll find that this looks quite different to your MS Word, right? It has these little blocks. So these blocks are first of all called cells, okay? So they're called cells. That's what they're called. Once you have cells, you also have columns. Like you see over here, you've got your A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. And then you also have what they call rows. See the 1, 2, 3. And as soon as I click on the number, it actually highlights the entire row, as you'll see over here. Okay. So I'm just going to delete this word cells. And so if I'm asking you to go to a specific cell, if I ask you to go to cell C4, what do you think you'll do? Great. What you'll do is you'll go to column C and I ask you to go to cell C4 and you'll go along to row 4 and you'll go further along and this is where cell 4 is. How do I know that? Is if you see over here, it's in your name box. It also indicates in which cell your cursor lies. Okay, so currently we're in cell C4. Great. I also just wanted to mention a few other things. So we've dealt with cells, and then also it says here different tabs with specific icons or functions. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean that, so can you see here we've got your File tab, you've got your Home tab with all your different icons and functions accordingly. You've got your Insert tab, Page Layout, and so forth. Okay, so that's great. So we've touched on what are cells. You know now where are your different tabs. And great. And then what did we say? What is a column? We said a column are these are the alphabets, right? Which are A, B, C, D, E, and so forth. But what you'll notice is the columns, they range from A, which you see over here, and they go straight on to XFD. And that looks kind of strange, doesn't it? And the total number of columns is 16,384 columns. Imagine that, eh? That's unimaginable, but it's true. So if you want to go further to the right, you'll notice you can move with your shift keys. And you'll notice that it doesn't end at Z. Do you see that? It carries on and then it starts at AA, AB, AC, AD. And that's how it goes along. Okay, so there are so many columns over there. So like they said over here, it's columns. The columns range from A right up until XFD. Okay. So we've covered that one. And then we're talking about rows. I know we spoke about, if I'm scrolling up with my wheel on my mouse, you'll notice there we've got row 1. And then you'll notice if we go further down, we can go further on up until, as I've illustrated here, to about, I think it's 1,048,576 rows. So there are many rows, okay? And that's only for one sheet. So you'll find that in MS Excel, we have many sheets, okay? So I've created an introduction to Excel and I've created various sheets as well. So what you'll notice here is if you scroll further on, you'll notice there I've got sheet 6, 7, 8. So you can create multiple sheets. If I click on the next one, this little white sheet with a little, almost like a sun on it, it will create more sheets. So that's what's amazing with Excel. And if you want to scroll to the first sheet, you just double click on the arrow, the left arrow with a line over there. Okay, and there we'll go back to our introduction to Excel. So once we have that, you all understand what Excel is. It deals with cells. We have different tabs. We've got columns. It makes up rows as well. And what do we mean now by autofull? So I'm going to explain to you now what we mean by autofull. What happens with autofull is the following. Say, for example, I'd like to type in the word Monday in the cell B2. So as you all know, we'll go to column B and row 2, and that's B2. How will I know I'm in B2? I basically look at my name box, and in the name box it tells me I'm in cell B2. Great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type in the word Monday. Okay. Oops, not Monday, but Monday. And then I'll enter. Once I enter, I click on Monday as well, again. And I'll leave my cursor. Can you see my cursor is this white cross? Please familiarize yourself and just take note of the different, how the cursor changes into different crosses as well. But I'll go through that with you as well. So what you have here is a white cross. As soon as you place it on this little square on the bottom right hand corner, can you see it turns into a solid black cross? And once you leave it on top of that square, it turns into a solid black cross. So your white cursor or white cross turns into a solid black cross. You'll keep your click in on that cross and on that square, and you'll move your mouse down. As you're moving down, look what's happening. You can see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if I lift my finger from my mouse, there you've created the days of the week. That's the amazing function with Excel, one of the amazing functions of Excel. So you can do that vertically. You can also do that horizontally. So if you're clicking on Monday, you leave your cursor on that little black square. It turns into a black cross and you scroll to the right. And there you've created the days of the week as well. Okay, fantastic. So what you will notice now is that what can you use this for? You can use this to create timetables. Okay, so that's another way that Excel is, that you can use Excel for, and that is to create timetables. So we've spoken about the autofill. You'll also notice what we can do is the following. If, for example, I asked you to please type in the number 50 in cell E5, for example. So I'll go to E and then to 5, and I'm going to type in the number 50. Once I type in the number 50, I'd like for you to type in the next number, which is 55 in E6. So if I type in 55 and I press the enter key, there I've got 50, 55, and then I have 60. So what are these? These are multiples of 5, are they not? So all I'll do is, I would like, when you highlight the sequence of the first two numbers, what will happen is you can highlight those two numbers, you leave your cursor, and that's how you highlight. So you click on the first cell, you highlight to the next cell, and you'll also notice that the first cell still remains, it doesn't highlight it in blue, but it doesn't, it indicates, if you don't see it highlighted in blue, it doesn't mean that it's not highlighted. Okay, it's just merely an indication of where your highlighting begins. So I've highlighted now these two cells. I'm going to place my cursor on that little square, and now I'm going to drag my cursor down. And as I'm dragging it, you'll notice it will give me the other multiples of 5 as well. And if I leave my cursor, voila, I've created multiples of 5. Okay, there you've got 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Okay, and so on. So for example, if I were to ask you to type in the number 40 in cell G5, there's column G, there's row 5. I'm going to type in the number, I think I said 40. I'll click on 40, and if I were to now take the number 40 and drag it down, what do you think I'll get? Right, what will I get? I'll get 40. Why will I get 40? Because I've taken that sequence, and the sequence was merely 40. In this example, what happened? I created the sequence of 50 and 55, and then I dragged that down. So this function is what they call auto-filling. Okay, so when they ask you to autofill, this is what they mean. Okay, so there you have autofilling. So we've covered autofilling. Okay, so once we've done autofilling, we then come into column width. So what do I mean by column width? This is what I mean by column width. You'll notice under Wednesday, hey, you'll notice the Y is missing. So what happens here is that I actually have to make the column wider, and I can do this. So how do I make the column wider? I leave my cursor between D and E, and you'll notice that the cursor, that white cross, turns into a black cross, but with 2 arrows on either side. So as soon as I click on that, or double click, it actually makes the column wider. And there you have it. Okay, so it's either I double click on it, or I can merely click on it and drag it to as further to the right as I'd like it to be, or closer to the word, closer to the end of the word. So that is column width. Great. So those are the things that we've learned today. So we've learned what are cells, what are the different tabs that we come across, the columns, the rows, the autofilling that we just showed now as well, and then the column widths. In the next exercise, or the next video I should say, we will concentrate on calculations. However, I just wanted to bring to your attention the following. And what is the following? The following cursors, okay, that you see over here. So when you're looking at the different cursors, the first, as you know it, is the cursor that you see over here. Okay, that you use to select cell. That's exactly what they're saying here, to select cells, or to merely highlight your cells. This beam, the I-beam, which indicates the cursor position when editing a cell entry. So what do they mean by that? So for example, as we were entering 50, did you notice here? That's your I-beam. So as soon as you see your I-beam, I often like to say that it's in an active cell. Okay, so your cell is still active. And once it's active, you'll notice that your tab or your ribbon over here is all displayed in gray. As soon as you press the enter key, you'll notice it will reactivate or highlight the functions again. Okay, often students find that they often surprised, because then they think, what's wrong? There's something wrong with my Excel, but they don't realize somewhere in their spreadsheet they have clicked on an active cell. Once you dealt, when you want to get make it active or inactive, all you have to do is you have to click in another cell. Great. So the next one that I just want you to remember is the fill handle or the autofill handle, which we just